Hi there, I'd just like to show you a quick example of how you can use STEMWerkz and how we've mapped it, particularly to the British curriculum, in the sense of you don't even need to go into STEMWerkz and search for what you're looking for, although you can do that. And of course, you can also encourage the children to do that if they have a specific topic that they want to go to and they want to explore on their own. But just to save you time, then we've also created a curriculum STEMWerkz mapping, which enables you to actually just go straight to the statutory requirements and topics and then go straight in. So I'm going to show you how that's done. So I'll just share my screen. So here we have STEMWerkz UK, so this is specifically for the UK, for Key Stage 1 to 2 Science Curriculum to STEM work mapping. So you'll see here that the table of contents from year 1 to year 6, then those are with the corresponding page numbers. So you'll see here really it's a library of interactive presentations organized by topics and playlists that children can watch, but not only watch, but interact with, so that they can have hundreds of dynamic pieces of content for leisure, but also to strengthen their understanding of what they learn in school. So it's all about getting that reinforcement in a different way than perhaps they have had before. And it's that reinforcement from a different source that will enable that stronger foundation of that particular context. So here we are, year 1. So you have the different topics at the top. So here you have plants, for example, and then you have the statutory requirements. Those are the requirements set out by the UK government, which also correspond to the international government. If there are any other curriculum requirements that you want to be mapped in this way, then of course we can do that for you. Just get in touch and we'd be happy to do that. And then we have the STEMQuest topic. So that will actually, the quests I showed in an earlier video where you can actually go step by step into each of those quests. And then the STEM path, which is the playlist, and the STEM story, which will take you directly to the learning object. So here, regarding the statutory requirements, then we've taken this from obviously what's on the UK government for science for these key stages. And for plants, it's particularly identify the name of a variety of common wild and garden plants, which many even adults don't know how to do. I'm still learning. So that's quite a good base to start with, including deciduous and evergreen trees. Identify and describe the basic structure of a variety of common flowering plants, including those trees, plant systems, parts and functions, and parts that work together. So this is the STEMQuest topic that they can go to. This is the STEM path playlist, and here's the STEM story. Now what we've done is we've mapped the STEM stories, so you can always go into STEM and go directly into the quest if you would like to look at that. So if we just click on an example here, and here it'll take you directly to your STEMWerkz channel. So if you've already logged in, then you can actually just copy and paste the links to your students, and the students can then just click on the link and it will take you directly there. So this is a really good way to save you time within the class if you want to teach them in the class, or if you want to just assign them for homework, and you can just copy and paste the links. So you can check what the topics that they're looking at, particularly for that week, for that month, and then they can just go directly into there. As you can see, there are different parts to the stories, and they go through, there's 9 in this particular one, and then it relates to all the different parts, such as the stomata, as well as parts of the leaf, and then also the plant story and the importance of plants. So that's a really good way to just find things very quickly. And we've done it, if we just move this down here, we've done it for all year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, whoops, year 5, and year 6. So for example, if we're going here, then it's obviously a little bit more complicated, more complex, living things in their habitats. So here, then we go into describe how living things are classified into broad groups according to common observable characteristics and based on similarities and differences, including microorganisms, plants, and animals. So of course, that's going into a little bit more detail. And there you can see that the stories are not so many, but they're more in detail. So if you see here, we can just go into that. You can click on the side.
Now that we know the characteristics of flowering and non-flowering plants, let's try to apply it in a flowchart. Y is a living thing. It makes its own food and reproduces by seeds. Y is a flowering plant that grows on land, like the hibiscus plant. X is a living thing that makes its own food, but does not reproduce by seeds, since most plants can make their own food. And since flowering plants reproduce by seeds, X is a non-flowering plant, like the fern, as it reproduces by spores. Lastly, W is a living thing, but it does not make its own food. Therefore, W is not a plant. We would need more information to know what W is.
So this is really a good way because it's looking at, okay, what is a living thing? Okay, if it does it make its own food? No. Okay, well, what can it be then? So it asks students to make a hypothesis, and it shows them also a flowchart, which is really a good way of setting out the data and the information that you gather within the field, within your environment for scientific research. Yeah, so, and then it goes on to tiny world of bacteria, classifying living things, how we stay alive, how animals stay alive, how plants stay alive, and comparison and characteristics. So obviously this is a lot higher level for year 6, and that's all categorized and documented there. So you can, again, just copy and paste these with the hyperlinks, which enables the students to click on them if you want to send them like as an email or as a, or if you have like an intranet, then you can post it on the intranet forum board. Yeah, so that gives you an idea of how we've mapped STEMWerkz to the curriculum. Do use this sheet because, we've prepared it to make it easier for you. You don't have to search around. You can actually just click into it. So it's a very handy and convenient way of just checking where you're at in the curriculum, what your students need to learn. And then, of course, you can use that for your summative and formative assessments. And you can see that these are, I can, use a circuit board. I know what a circuit board is. I know I can understand where electricity comes from. All those markers that you need to assess with the summative assessment can be done through looking at these STEMWerkz stories and then seeing how they can be assessed for your final summative assessments at the end of the year or at the end of the term. Just before we go, then I just want to take you back to the home. So you'll see here on the landing page, we've got the STEMWerkz channel. So of course, if you want to search for anything, then you just put in anything there. And, that of course gives you, excuse me, a bit more freedom to explore. And then you can choose, obviously, depending on what your level is, which topic you want to go to and things like that. It gives you different STEM paths, which are a bit more sort of looking at the particular learning that you need to kind of build up that knowledge. So it's like the scaffolding of the knowledge. And, the STEM story is a bit more looking at the way in which storytelling helps contextualize learning. So like a learning context and journey, as it were. And if we just go back to the dashboard, the main dashboard. So at the main dashboard, then you can see that there are the quests here. And so there's ocean exploration, Arctic expedition, and space adventure. I'm actually already in Meadow Mission because I'm looking at primary 3 and 4. So you can just go back to that and resume where you came off, where you stopped it before. And that's really looking at living things and how things grow, and yeah. So, and those are all marked. So yeah, we have diversity of non-living things, and then amazing body systems, which helps, you know, to understand the digestive system, plants and their parts. So that's really fun, but it also goes into magnets and so on, which is really good. So that's related, if we go back to the document that I showed you, then that's, then that's related to the quest topics. So there are quest topics there that you can see, and that's where the quests are. Okay, so that's giving you a bit of an idea of how to use the UK curriculum mapping with STEMWerkz, and I hope that helps, and enjoy learning. Okay, thanks a lot.